Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
One of the men behind a brutal Rockford murder is headed to prison. The latest on the second man police say helped him carry out the attack.
Plus, the accused Highland Park shooter's father believes Monday's massacre is not his fault. 3 families say goodbye to loved ones killed during that attack.
And Rockford Public Schools hope last year's bus driver shortage doesn't leak into the fall. The incentives being offered to convince job seekers to apply. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
It's been more than 2 years since a Rockford man was beaten and killed. Now one of the men behind the murder is headed to prison. A
judge convicted Dylan Myers in the first-degree murder of Stephen Delorme. The attack happened in March 2020. Police say Myers and a second man brutally attacked the victim, then dumped him off in a secluded area on 20th Avenue. A passerby saw that and called 911. An ambulance took the victim to the hospital. He died a few months later. Myers faces 20 years to life in prison. His sentencing is set for August 29th. The trial for the second man is set to begin in September. Harry Lawson also faces first-degree murder. Information continues to confirm police were aware of the accused Highland Park 4th of July parade shooter.
According to newly released police records, the Highland Park police called the suspect a clear and present danger 3 years ago. That was when family members called police and claimed he wanted to, quote, kill everyone. But a later review determined there wasn't enough evidence to support that, which was why he was able to pass a background check when he bought his guns. The suspect's father sponsored his application for a gun license, saying he wasn't aware of any violence from his son at the time.
I think it was taken out of context where it's like just a child outburst, whatever he was upset about.
Meanwhile, funeral services were held for 3 of the 7 people killed. This is video from Jacqueline Soundheim's funeral in Glencoe. She was a former school teacher and an active member of her synagogue. Loved ones remembered Steve Strauss in Evanston. The 88-year-old was a beloved grandfather who went to the Highland Park parade every year with his family. And a visitation just started for 78-year-old Nicholas Toledo Zaragoza in Waukegan. He traveled from Mexico and planned to spend 3 months with his family. There's a new memorial in Highland Park for those who died in the massacre. It was created by 2 artists who travel the country, putting faces with the names of shooting victims. They've done the same in other cities where massacres have occurred, like the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, Florida, and more recently, Uvalde, Texas, and Buffalo, New York.
It's not just a number. It is a life. And that life, that person has a family, a community that they were a part of.
The artist says long after the name of the shooter's forgotten, his hope is that it will be the names and faces of the victims that everyone remembers.
Many professionals have stepped up to offer free services to survivors and families. That includes Family Service of Lake County. The agency's been accepting walk-in counseling sessions for anyone impacted by the shooting. Therapists have even visited businesses along the parade route to talk with employees and offer help to whomever wants it.
The businesses that were open, it was really hard for them because people ran in there and were, hiding and trying to be safe.
Survivor's guilt, survivor's remorse, what I could have done, what I should have done.
The agency says it will provide free 30-minute sessions for the next 3 weeks. Federal authorities say they have apprehended more than 1,500 fugitives nationwide in an effort called Operation Northstar. In Illinois, the U.S. Marshals Service took 150 fugitives into custody for violent crimes.
Operation Northstar was concentrated on fugitives wanted from the most serious, violent, and harmful offenses, such as homicide, forcible sexual assault, robbery, and aggravated assault. Operation Northstar investigators focused and prioritized offenses that were involving firearms and individuals who had a heightened indicator for violence.
Illinois was among 10 states where federal authorities concentrated their efforts. About a dozen of the arrests are connected to homicide cases.
The state earmarks more than $30 million to develop local parks across the state. Some of that is headed to the state line, including Wands Park in Loves Park. It will receive $315,000 to overhaul the playground equipment. Another $330,000 will go to Founders Park in Roscoe Township. And Davis Junction will receive $100,000 to expand Community Park on Lincoln Avenue. A shortage of drivers forced Rockford District 205 to get creative with school bus routes last year. That included canceling some routes altogether.
But RPS is already trying to get a head start for the fall. Nikel Delgado is here to explain the recruiting effort. Nikel?
That's right, Eric and Mimi. Last school year, the Rockford Public School had to cancel or alter several routes because they didn't have enough drivers. This year, they're trying to get ahead of it before school starts.
One day, I just woke up and said, hey, this is cool, let's go do it. And it was a great opportunity. And then now it's even a better opportunity.
Katina Barnett has been behind the wheel of District 205 school buses for 24 years. She tells me the best part of her job are the students she gets to pick up and talk to every day.
You get students all day long that have had rough home lives, and you're the positive light that brings a brighter day for them.
Drivers like Barnett were in short supply last school year due to the bus driver shortage. It forced Rockford Public Schools to cancel bus routes. Staff like Executive Director of Transportation Michael Slife filled in where they could to keep those cancellations to a minimum.
Including myself, the mechanics have driven or drive a lot. Our program supervisors, our field supervisors, the dispatchers, anybody and everybody who is in our transportation staff that has a CDL has been out driving a school bus.
Slife tells me he hopes this year will be different. The district is looking to hire 30 bus drivers. To sweeten the deal a little bit, those who sign up could receive thousands of dollars in bonuses, pension, and health insurance. That's on top of their base salary. Drivers need a CDL license. Slife says the district can help with that.
We do all the training here in-house, and it's all paid. So, and there's the physical and the different testing, so we pick that up as well.
Katina says being a bus driver is what makes the city of Rockford go around, and that it is a very rewarding career.
We get their babies where they need to go, and then from there, one thing leads to another, and the entire city is flowing like it should. And then we close the day out by bringing their babies back to them, which gives them that family time that they need at home.
For more information on how you can apply, go to mystateline.com. Eric, Mimi?
Thanks, Nikel.
The latest U.S. jobs report is out.
It shows the country's still recovering from the pandemic, but at least one economic expert believes the fear of a second recession could be a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's next.
And our temperatures are into the 70s as skies are finally clearing here for the afternoon. But out at Byron Fest, I'll give you all the details of what you need to know for the weekend forecast coming up in a little bit.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
A gunman shoots and kills the former Prime Minister of Japan during a campaign event.
Shinzo Abe was in the middle of a speech at an event ahead of Japan's legislative elections. Officers immediately took the shooter into custody. He's been identified as a former member of Japan's Navy. Investigators say he admitted to plotting to kill Abe with a homemade gun. In a statement, President Biden says he's stunned and outraged at what happened.
This hasn't happened in Japan in decades and decades. I do not believe it's likely to have, but I don't know yet, likely to have any profound destabilizing impact on Japanese security or Japanese solidarity.
There's no word yet on a motive. Abe was Japan's longest-serving prime minister before stepping down in 2019.
As inflation continues to pound American wallets, the latest jobs report revealed the job market remains strong. Eyewitness News is keeping you connected to the nation's capital. The U.S. National Economic Council says the country has recovered all private sector jobs lost during the pandemic. Not only that, it says more companies are hiring at higher wages. But consumer confidence is still low. One economic analyst believes those fears could create its own problem.
If people really buy this message that a recession is coming, they may cut back on spending, and that action of cutting back on spending could spur a recession.
George Washington University Professor Tara Sinclair recommends building up your savings to protect yourself from another recession. It's summertime, so you know it's fair season in the state line.
Jordan is out at Byron Fest, where the weather didn't quite start ideal for opening day. He'll let us know if we'll dry out for the weekend in your First One forecast next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Well, we're live downtown from Byron Fest here this afternoon, where the showers from the earlier this morning are finally working their way out of the area. We haven't actually had only a couple drops of rain on us here since we got here, but we are seeing a lot of that cloud cover still remaining in place. Now, we were underneath drought conditions, so those rain chances from this morning actually helping that out just a little bit, but the latest drought monitor came out even after we had that 2 inches of rainfall over 2 days at the Rockford airport. A couple of areas even saw close to 5 or 6 inches of rain, but nevertheless, those drought conditions continue to persist in the area. We're continuing to see those drought conditions developing, but the rain showers from earlier this morning helping to put a little bit of a dent in that. Satellite and radar showing those clearer conditions finally working their way in now. We did have those rain showers from earlier on in the day, but those are finally clearing out. We're actually seeing just a little bit of blue skies here for the afternoon and into this evening as well. Temperatures started out the day just a little bit lower as we got up into the 60s and 70s. We're finally working our way back up now that the rain's finally working its way out. We are even seeing a little bit of sunshine finally peeking through the clouds as well. Our SkyTrack camera showing those cloudier conditions out there. We're seeing those cloudy conditions, at least here in Byron as well, but finally seeing just a few peaks of the sunshine working its way through. Our headlines, what we're looking forward to here this week, we're going to eventually see temperatures work their way up throughout the weekend, but we're looking at a near picture-perfect weekend. Temperatures into the 80s for Saturday and Sunday as well. It'll be a near perfect weekend tomorrow. We'll get temperatures into the 80s, and it'll be a little bit clearer as well. Lots of sunshine. We're a little bit warmer there for the day on Sunday, and then warmer even for the day on Monday. A cold front later into the evening on Monday does bring us a couple chances for some rain showers as well. So we can check these out in Futurecast. We'll time those out, and we get to see those conditions staying clear here for the rest of this evening and into the day tomorrow as well. Plenty of sunshine takes our temperatures down just a little bit for the overnight tonight underneath clear skies, but we're back up into the 80s for the day tomorrow. Eventually working our way back down into the 50s overnight the following night. We're going to get a little bit chillier conditions than what we've seen as of late, but overall clearer conditions remain with us throughout the weekend. Eventually, though, that next system does work its way back in, does bring us a chance for some rain showers into the day on Monday. A cold front will sweep through after temperatures make their way up into the upper 80s. That brings us a couple chances for rain showers, as well as maybe an isolated chance for a storm or two into the evening and overnight hours, primarily there on Monday into Tuesday. Eventually, though, our temperatures behind that work their way back down a little bit closer to average for the middle part of the week. Our temperature trend goes up for the rest of the weekend and into the day on Monday, and we'll eventually work our way back down as we get into the back half of the week. We're going to continue to see those warmer conditions working their way through as well. The Climate Prediction Center outlook does have us in the next 6 to 10 days showing a little bit above average, or a slight probability that we will see above average temperatures. We're going to eventually work those temperatures back down, those to get into the later half of the week. Our precipitation is the biggest key because we're underneath those drought conditions, as I mentioned already. Well, the outlook does not favor very much rain in the next 6 to 10 days, only a couple of small chances for rain. So we're looking to see a well below average as far as our precipitation is concerned. So recapping all of this, we have a near perfect weekend on tap. Overnight tonight, our temperatures are back down into the 60s, plenty of clear skies once these clouds move out. Tomorrow, we're right around that 80-degree mark, working our way back up, plenty of sunshine, not very humid at all. The rest of our weekend and into the rest of next week looking a lot better as well, as our temperatures get their way up into the day on Monday, but then that chance for rain with that cold front does drop us back down as we head into the back half of the week.
It's hard to miss that blazing sunshine on the 7-day forecast for Saturday and Sunday.
Should be really great.
Look good, Jordan. Thanks.
Reagan Holgate's in next with sports. The Northwoods League announced the All-Star roster today, and 4 Rivets will make an appearance.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
The Northwoods League announced the rosters for the 2022 All-Star Game today, and your Rockford Rivets have 4 names on the list in the Great Lakes Division. Among the 4 are Rochelle native and senior NIU pitcher Kyle Seabach, Ty Crittenberger, the redshirt sophomore from Western Kentucky University, then the youngster from South Georgia State College in Matthew Mabane, and last but certainly not least, the right-handed pitcher from Parkland College, Ty Rybarczyk. The All-Star Game is scheduled for July 19th at Witter Field in Wisconsin Rapids at 7 p.m. The Cubs are on deck tonight for Game 2 of a weekend series with the Dodgers. They are looking to bounce back after a tough loss last night. But it was LA to get things rolling. First, Mookie Betts crushes this one off of Mark Leiter Jr. That leadoff homer put the Dodgers up 1-0. Second inning, Gavin Lux at bat. He gets a hold of this one. It's down the line and goodbye. That 2-run homer makes it 3-0 LA. The Cubs were shut out until the 5th inning with Christopher Morel. He really puts the lumber on this one, deep left field, hooking around the pole, and it's gone. That would put the Cubs on the board 4-2, but the Dodgers would hang on to win 5-3. Game 2 starts tonight at 9:10. And the White Sox are coming off a 2-1 loss to the Tigers last night. Detroit captured their 4th straight win and look to make it 5 tonight. It will be Lucas Giolito to start for Chicago. First pitch is at 7:10. The NHL draft finished in Montreal today. The Blackhawks made franchise history yesterday in the first round with 3 picks. They made 8 selections through day 2 of the draft today. And with those new additions, that brings the total number to 11 new prospects the Hawks acquired this year. The day started with the Hawks drafting forward Paul Ludwinski, then came forward Ryan Green and Gavin Hayes. Then in the 3rd round came another forward in Samuel Savoy. 4 more names added in the later rounds, all in that forward position. With the trades made in the last 2 days, the Blackhawks currently own 9 picks in the 2023 draft. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Skies are finally clearing now for the start of Byron Fest. We're eventually going to continue to see those skies clear here through the evening after the rain showers from earlier on in the day on the First Horn Interactive Radar from Rockford Auto Glass and more. Now let me tell you, this is a picture-perfect weekend to get out and enjoy Byron Fest. It goes all the way through the weekend. Temperatures are into the 80s. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday as well. We're working our way back up into the upper 80s, though, by the day on Monday. We're going to get a cold front that does bring us some chance for rain showers. Temperatures remain a little bit more moderated as we get into the back half of the week, remaining in the low to mid 80s. Just a couple more small chances for rain, and then our temperatures remain back into the upper 80s and even low 90s into the back half of the week.
All right, thanks, George. It's going to be great for the festival all weekend, it sounds like.
Anything you want to do outside. We've got lots of sunshine and very little rain, which has been rare this week.
Absolutely. It'll be nice to get outside and not have it be so muggy. Thanks so much for watching.
Stay safe.